Riflemen, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to welcome you all here to Sunderland today for this very special occasion. This is my first Freedom Parade as Mayor of Sunderland, and just as I am proud, so is this city, to once again host the Rifles, our affiliated regiment, as it exercises its freedom of this city. A freedom it has held for 13 years, an honour which was also held by your predecessors, the Durham Light Infantry and the Light Infantry. And I am delighted to see members of the DLI Association here with you this morning. Since you gained the freedom of the city in 2010, there has been much change. You have been deployed around the world, seeing service, not least in Iraq and Afghanistan. And I am aware that you are currently training colleagues in the Ukrainian army, whilst continuing to pursue technical and tactical excellence wherever you may go, with an ever-present fondness for the North East infused in all you do. You take young people from Sunderland and other cities around the North East and shape and mould them into soldiers, enabling them to learn or indeed improve upon many new and exciting skills. But of course, I have to say, I am sure the raw material you get from the North East allows you to have a very good starting point, and long may it continue. I have recently had the honour of attending a bugle breakfast at Hilton Castle, where I learned some of the history of the bugle call. So I am delighted that we have with us today the band and bugles of the Rifles, as well as the band and bugles of the County Durham Army Cadet Force on parade together with the Rifles Northern Contingent of 3 Rifles based in Edinburgh and our very own 8 Rifles based here in the North East. This city values its connection with the military, with our affiliated naval craft HMS Anson and links to the RAF, but perhaps most uniquely with the soldiers, many of whom grew up in our streets and who now march through them, following a band with their colours and with their bayonets fixed upon their rifles. Today gives the city the opportunity to pay tribute to you all, including your families and support networks, who play such a vital yet often unseen role. And as Mayor of Sunderland, I am extremely proud to represent the people of our city by welcoming you all here today. Thank you.
Madam Mayor, Deputy Lord Lieutenant, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your kind words and also for inviting us here today to exercise our freedom of the City of Sunderland, an honour we have held since 2010 and one that we as the Rifles are proud to hold following our antecedent regiments of the Durham Light Infantry and the Light Infantry. We're still a relatively young regiment formed in 2007, forged under fire in Iraq and Afghanistan. We've built on the traditions of those who went before us, our antecedent and forming regiments. We are the Army's largest infantry regiment with 8 battalions, a national regiment, but we take our strength and identity from the cities and counties from which we draw and from where our riflemen come. Our link to the north and this region in particular draws heavily from our immediate forebears of the Light Infantry and the Durham Light Infantry. And now, as the Rifles, it is fantastic that we're able to demonstrate that through what is a fairly traditional event, a freedom parade and march that allows us to bear arms through the city, something that historically was and is a particular honour. I am delighted that all the pillars that make up the regimental family are represented here today. First, the band and bugle of the Rifles, who have performed once more so brilliantly on parade, together with the riflemen from our northern contingent of 3 Rifles, based in Edinburgh. Second, members of 8th Rifles, your local reserve battalion. Third, the cadets from across the region, and in particular the Band and Beagles of the County of Durham Army Cadet Force, who I thought have played magnificently so far. The veterans from our associations. And then finally, the last pillar of the regiment, the communities from which we originate, from where we recruit, who we represent, and who we one day return our riflemen to. It's particularly important to us that we remain engaged with you at a time when the Army is not always in the public eye. Of course, in the background, world events continue to play out. The war in Ukraine and the current troubles in the Middle East serve as stark reminders of the dangerous world in which we live. Right now, we have riflemen deployed worldwide, ensuring that we remain safe in these challenging times. And that includes training Ukrainians to fight on the front line against Russia. I would like to particularly single out 8 Rifles, your local battalion, a reserve battalion, but at the forefront of our army. They are our newest battalion and are going from strength to strength. We are proud to be able to exercise this freedom. It remains an important link between your county regiment, its riflemen, and the city of Sunderland. Wherever we are in the world, we may serve such bonds are essential in helping to sustain the rifles. We once again thank you for inviting us here today and for granting us this marvellous opportunity. Thank you.
Three, shoulder, arms. Rifles, parade! Parade will advance into line.